was a wild game, Charity.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
But of course, we knew that it could make a matter of if UNA could play well, especially in a rivalry game. It looks like JSU just kind of ran away with this one.
Yeah, they really did. We're going into this game. Coach Willis flat out said that JSU on a different level than them. Now, going into the game, like I mentioned, he said he wasn't trying to make excuses, but that was just a fact. We know JSU is coming off of that win against, at the time, number 5 Eastern Washington. Coach Gross called this game a trap game, but in the end, the Gamecocks got it done. It wasn't necessarily all that easy for them because going into the second quarter, they were only up 7-0. So UNA defensively doing a pretty good job, but they struggled offensively. They just couldn't run the ball. JSU held them to only 95 rushing yards for the game. And I know they do rely more on their passing game, but when you're going up against a team like JSU, you really have to have a balanced attack, and they just couldn't get things done going on the ground. But one thing I will say that surprised me is how the Lions played in the second half. We're used to seeing them crumble at that point. I mean, we've seen that the past 2 games, but it was a different story this time. They didn't let the Gamecocks score at all the third quarter. They held them to only a touchdown in the fourth. So even though they lost, I will say there was a positive that came out of this for them. They were able to prove to themselves that they can play a solid second half of football. And I think personally as a team that they probably really needed that, and not to mention Decatur native Josh Pearson just had a phenomenal game. Really couldn't stop him at all. Now let's take a look at this. UNA returns home for homecoming. They will take on Presbyterian. Kickoff for that game is at 3 p.m. Jacksonville State travels to Austin Peay to begin conference play. Kickoff for that game will be at 2 o'clock.